Hello. Today we're going to talk about using absolute value function in real life. In previous lessons, we did study about absolute value functions, how to solve absolute value equations and inequalities. And today we're going to work on this word problem. So let me read first. Sarah has $15. She knows that Blake has some money, and it varies by amount of $5 from the amount of her money. So, write an absolute value inequality that represents this scenario. The question: what are possible amount of money Blake can have? So how we can solve this problem? First of all, as you see, I underlined that keywords. We have to pay attention and understand the meaning of these words. So we know exactly that Sarah has $15. Very good. But Blake has some money, and they're asking what is possible amount. So we need to come up with a variable, and since the question is amount money that Blake has, we put it X. So X we denote as the amount money what Blake has. Well, what Sarah has $15, and whatever the amount money Blake has, it varies at most. So what is the word at most? Which means it's less or equal, right? It can be $5 or less. In this case, we can write down the equation. So the difference between what Blake has and Sarah, and it varies between so $5, right? And here is our equation we set up, and now we know how to solve it. Remember, since we're solving it's less or equal, so we can set up solution x minus 15. Since it's less or equal, we can set up it's between. Remember, it's between. Between what? -5 and 5. How to solve? We isolating x, adding 15 to all sides of inequality. The next step, we have x, again between, greater or equal. So what we have here, 10, 15 minus 5, and less or equal 20. And this is your answer. So they're asking what are possible amounts money Blake has. He can have from 10 included, by 20. All these values would be possible amount of money Blake can have. This is a second example using absolute value function in real life. So we're going to read carefully. We're going to underline keywords that we have to pay attention and meaning of these values and what actually they're asking us to do. A company is making mirrors. Each mirror needs to be 18-inch height. So this information I did highlight it. Each mirror can vary, but at most 1/100 inches. So that is also important information. Write an absolute value inequality that represents its situation and allows you to answer the question, the question is, what are acceptable heights of this company's mirror? Well, what I want you to do, you need to pause this video and I want you to try to solve it yourself. Look at the previous example. When you finish, you go back to video. All right, and this is my work. First of all, of course, we have to denote what is variable. I mark as a h as the height of the mirrors. So the inequality, you can see h minus 18 less or equal 100. And that makes sense, right? Difference between that standard and that real mirror and allowance is that values. It can vary between those 100s. And again, we know how to solve since is less or equal, the inequality, we called it between. We can set up the way how we did previously, and we solve, answer the question. And answer that height, acceptable height of these company mirrors should be between those numbers.